Aloha everybody and welcome to part 7 of Sonic and the Black Knight. So, we just finished the fight with King Arthur and the story seemed to be over, but you'll notice we now have a red area known as Knight's Passage. And when we activate the Knight's Passage level, there will be more cutscenes and the story will progress, and there's actually more to this game than meets the eye. You can see it in all the new icons throughout the map. There's tons of missions we haven't done yet, but so in preparation for the next few story levels, I decided to go back to the Lancelot fight and actually upgrade all of my different styles. As you remember, when we defeated Percival, we got 2 new styles. We started off with the Knight style, and we raised its proficiency quite well, but we also got the speed-oriented style Cavalier, or Cavalier, I don't know how it's pronounced, but it's somewhere around there. And we got an attack-based style known as Paladin. And I'm not going to be using Knight style anymore. I'm actually going to be focusing on Cavalier and Paladin for the next few levels. So, you'll notice a few of these icons are blacked out, and you can always see exactly how many different abilities each style has by going into the status menu and stuff. But you don't have everything at 1-star proficiency, right? That's why I'm basically going to the Lancelot fight, because it's the easiest stage to get stars in. Because Lancelot is such a pushover and he barely blocks, and I could kick his ass no problem, it's an easy 5 stars every, like, 10 seconds. Like, it's literally like a 7 to 15 second fight if you know what you're doing. So, I'm going to be grinding, and you're not going to see this, don't worry, but I spent an hour and a half grinding and beating up Lancelot over and over and over again in my spare time, even though my master save file already has everything maxed out. But I wanted to show you, you know, the first time playthrough, and then I wanted to have the cutscenes follow in the order they're supposed to, and blah blah blah. So I beat up Lancelot quite a bit, and eventually my Paladin, Knight, and Cavalier styles were maxed out.
Welcome.
So yeah, I just wanted to show off that going into the next few levels, my styles are maxed out. I have all the abilities, well, mostly. You also get abilities from having followers, and followers, you only get that from replaying a level over and over and over again. You can't get the maximum amount of followers simply by playing a stage once and getting a 5-star ranking. And it's admittedly really repetitive. I still don't have on my master save file every single follower I could have, because there are certain missions I just don't want to replay over and over and over and over again. You know, I want to play other games. It's just, there's a lot of repetitive grinding you have to do to get master followers. So even though I'm maxed out, I can't get Dragon Killer style because my title isn't high enough because I need more followers, but oh well. So we're gonna go to Knight's Passage with the Cavalier style.
We have orders from the king. Have you any last words?
Your king was nothing more than an illusion my grandfather conjured up. You'd better start explaining, Merlina.
Merlina! You! How did you come by that scabbard? Where is the king?
Wait.
This was all he left after he disappeared in a puff of smoke.
Just like one of the knights of the underworld.
There was never any King Arthur.
Huh?
Well done. And thank you, Sonic. With this scabbard, I can erase my grandfather's greatest mistake. I shall make this kingdom eternal.
Sonic, get back!
Alrighty, folks, so now we're in Knight's Passage using the Cavalier style, and oh my god! Merlina was the bad guy the whole time! Now, admittedly, I did not see that twist coming because I didn't actually really expect that, but then again, I didn't really expect to kill King Arthur so quickly. I just assumed, like, oh, maybe King Arthur was only temporarily beaten, or it was a doppelganger, and the real one's off to some mischief. Because I didn't think much of the fact that Merlina disappeared for most of the adventure, and that it was just Sonic and Caliburn the whole time. And, you know, I guess because I played Sonic and the Secret Rings, I figured Sonic Team's writing would be so cliche that, oh, you know, Shara didn't end up being a villain. I mean, why would Merlina? She's a pink-haired, you know, damsel girl just like the last game. It'll be fine, but it does raise a few questions, like, when you rewatch the whole beginning of the game again and you see, like, Merlina running away from the Black Knight, and then she summons Sonic and stuff, it's like, couldn't she summon that Sonic earlier? And, like, when did this whole thing start? Like it's a little confusing. How long was she trying to get the scabbard, exactly? Why would Merlin, who is Merlina's grandfather, why would Merlin create this evil King Arthur doppelganger demon underworld version who, like, traps people in castles and stuff and, like, is up to bad shit? Or was that Merlina and the Lady of the Lake knew that, even though she never told Sonic? But I don't know. With this plot, I just learned to go, oh, whatever, it's Sonic. Sonic is never written perfectly, and whatever. It's a twist for the sake of a twist. Merlina is the true villain of Sonic and the Black Knight. Oh boy. But anywho, folks, you'll notice we're playing with the Cavalier style. And honestly, it's my least favorite style of the bunch, but what it basically does, it makes Sonic a hell of a lot faster. Like, his running speed goes super, super fast when you're in Cavalier style, so if you're trying to speedrun the game, well, I guess at this point you get the style so late, you have to fight, you know, Sir Percival in order to get it. But you can get it after Sir Percival, and if you want to run faster to speedrun the game, I guess this is how you do it with Cavalier style. But honestly, the thing, it doesn't have a huge priority on attack, and it doesn't really have a huge priority on soul gauge energy and stuff. And I find, like, Knight bonuses and Paladin bonuses are a hell of a lot more useful than Cavalier bonuses. So even when I'm trying to, like, 5-star rank all these optional missions and stuff, I don't really like using Cavalier. Sonic runs so fast that you can run into stuff you can't even see coming. Like, you'll literally turn corners so fast that the camera can't quite keep up with you. And then you'll just run into enemies and run into, like, crusher segments and stuff, or pits, and it's like, whoa, whoa, slow down, Sonic, slow down. Because that's the thing a lot of gamers don't really get about Sonic. Like, when they always complain about stuff like in Sonic Lost World, oh, Sonic's not fast enough. Yes, but if he's too fast, it's hard to control and see what the hell you're doing. You want to see what the hell you're doing. That could be a huge criticism of a lot of people who don't like Sonic games. I don't want Sonic to be faster than the speed of light unless it's a feature like, say, Speed Break. You know, I need him to go at a comfortable speed so I could actually play the game properly. So Cavalier style is not my favorite, but I am still showing it off at this level so you can get an idea. Again, it's not like it changes how the sword swings and stuff operate. All these styles just sort of change how long your soul gauge energy lasts, how fast Sonic moves, and all these different bonus effects. Like Knight style, the original style I started upgrading in the first place, that's the style that eventually gets an upgrade where you could give townspeople money simply by walking into them and not having to do a quick time event, you know? So they all have their little different bonuses and stuff, and you'll have to experiment and see which one suits the right mission for you, you know? Just personal experience, I never found Cavalier the go-to style for anything. If I was ever going to get a 5-star ranking on any kind of mission, it's either Paladin or Knight, but never Cavalier. It just wasn't useful enough, where soul gauge energy runs out quickly, I don't want to run too fast, and yeah. As for this level, it's pretty simple. I don't think there's any horrible bottomless pit segments. There is a boat segment which we already crossed, which was pretty much exactly like the horseback segment in Deep Woods. You basically just stand on it and swing your sword, and you can block while on the boat if you're running into an enemy you don't think you can swing into and stuff. And they have a really annoying, perfect challenge that involves that boat later in one of the optional Night Passages missions. So, Night's Passage missions, I should say. But, it's an intense level. And you'll notice we actually have a time limit. We had to beat the clock. If we don't escape the level in 3 minutes and 33 seconds, then we're going to lose. But, oh, I did it. But as you can see, it's not a steep time limit, so you don't really have to worry too much. Then again, keep in mind, I was Cavalier style, so I was slightly faster than usual. But, even in Knight and Paladin style, you always have like 2 or 3 minutes extra by the time you reach the goal. It's sort of like White Jungle and Green Forest in Sonic Adventure 2. It's not anything too taxing that it's like, oh, this is impossible. It's too soon, you know? It's a totally acceptable time limit. Also, we got the Gladiolus by beating this mission, and that's a great item.
So, it was all part of Merlina's plot.
It keeps spreading.
It's only a matter of time before the kingdom is consumed.
The Knights of the Round Table! Must we simply stand and watch our kingdom's ruin?
Gawain.
What? Are you gonna give up just like that? Is that the best that chivalry of yours can do?
How dare you!
Listen, it's like I said before. Isn't there more to being a knight than serving a king?
Sir Sonic is right. And there's still time if you act now. Use the sacred swords to form a barrier around the castle.
For the kingdom and its people!
For the kingdom and its people!
I'm counting on you.
Sir Sonic, what will you do?
Once the barrier's up, I'll look for a chance to jump in.
Surely you jest.
Nah, it's just how I roll.
Fare thee well. We too shall fulfill our appointed task.
Three Knights of the Round Table are now usable. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. We actually have more than one playable character. Sonic is not the only playable character in the game. I kept that a big secret from people who haven't played the game yet up till now because, you know, that's pretty awesome. So, we can choose to keep playing as Sonic if we so desire, but we can now play as Lancelot, Gawain, and Percival, and they all have their different kind of quirks, their own different way of fighting, their own different way of moving. And that is super freaking awesome for all of the bonus missions. The only problem with this is you can't play a blue mission with any of the other characters. You have to play a red mission with Lancelot, Gawain, and Percival. So pretty much everything from Night's Passage onwards in those worlds. You can't really go back to Castle Camelot or Deep Woods or Misty Lake with Lancelot, let's say. But, you know, they could all equip equipment to their sword just like Sonic could. Shadow could equip 2 pieces, Gawain can equip 1 piece, Percival can equip 3 pieces. And now we have a weapon crafting option with the blacksmith, because Lancelot, Gawain, and Percival can all equip different weapons. And collecting different items from all of the various levels, you can actually craft items with those things, so before they were useless, now they're not useless. Let's take these items, ding ding ding, and... hey, we got a Sakasi! A sword that can only be wielded by the pure of heart, or the true of heart. The text went by so quickly. But we got a new weapon for Shadow, or Lancelot, and it changes a little bit of his characteristics. Sort of like the Knight, Paladin, Chevalier style will change how Sonic operates. Depending on which weapon you have equipped to the other 3 characters, they can get different abilities and different speeds and stuff, and that is freaking cool. I like it. I like the fact that we have all these playable characters. And if you don't like them, you can still stick with Sonic. You're not being forced to be Lancelot. You're not being forced to be Gawain or Percival. If you still think Sonic is the best character in the game, you can still play as Sonic if you so desire. It's just a nice little bonus option for you, and that is super awesome. But in the next mission, we shall be going to the Shrouded Forest, and I shall be showing off Lancelot, giving him the Gladiolus, which increases soul gauge points for using Soul Surge. So, we shall play as the Ultimate Knight in Part 8.